Hello dear students, how are you? Students, you are most welcome in this next video. This is the video series of chapter number 5, Principle of Inheritance and Variation. In this video, we are going to discuss about the law of independent assortment on the basis of chromosomal theory of inheritance. We have studied about the law of independent assortment. What is the law of independent assortment? Dear students, I told you in that law that Mendel proved that one gene or one allele of a trait is independently assorted with another allele. Okay, so here let's discuss how it is working. So dear students, this is the diagram or infrastructure of the chromosomal theory of inheritance. Also we have studied about the chromosomal theory of inheritance, but here we will practically see that how the law of independent assortment works in this theory. So first, probability of the assortment, and second, probability of the assortment. Okay, so chromosomal theory of inheritance means one chromosome will reach from one generation to next generation, and then the gene or the allele present on the chromosome, it also reaches in next generation. Okay, so we can say one gene, one allele of a gene is equal to one chromosome of a homologous pair. Got it? So here in first probability, that dear students, I made the diagram little bit different from the NCERT, but here I cannot present the colorful diagram. That is why I am presenting by the shading of chromosome and naming of chromosome. So try to understand. Dear students, this is the cell, and here this is meiosis first is going on. At the time of gamete formation, the meiosis cell division occurs. So in meiosis first, this is anaphase stage. So in anaphase stage, the chromosomes are separated from each other, or chromosomal pair is separated. So in meiosis first, the chromosome here in this cell, which is in anaphase first, that here two set of chromosomes are found. So in one set, one bigger and one smaller. In another set, one bigger and one smaller. So these two are homologous, and these two are also homologous chromosome. So dear students, here I made the chromosome which is shaded by the lining, okay, or the horizontal lining. This is chromosome A, okay, of homologous chromosome, and the another participant of homologous pair, this is A2. So it is without shade. Okay, so this is A1, this is A2 of homologous pair, and another pair, that this one, it is oblique shading. You are looking here, this is oblique shading, this is known as B1, and this is fully shaded, this is B2. So here A1, A2 of a homologous chromosome pair, and this is B1, B2. These are the chromosome of homologous pair. Got it? So in anaphase first, these are separated now. Okay, so chromosomal pair, because the chromosomal number is reduced to half, so that is why here in a cell 4 chromosomes are found. When meiosis first will happen, then the result of meiosis first represents the number of chromosomes in one cell are 2. Okay, so here 2 chromosomes are found. Okay, so one from one set, okay, this is the diploid cell. So here 4 chromosomes are found, and now this is the result of meiosis first. So that is why this is haploid cell. Okay, because the number of chromosomes reduced to half from 4 to 2. Got it? Here dear students, you are looking the chromosome number A1 of a homologous pair is separated with another homologous pair, the chromosome which is B1. Got it? So these two, one from one set, these 2 chromosomes are separated now, one bigger and one smaller. So these two set, one set is separated. Okay, so here A1, the combination is A1 and B1. Okay, so the gene present, suppose this is the gene A or allele A, and this is allele 2. Okay, of gene A. So A gene has A1 and A2 allele. Got it? So these two alleles are situated at homologous pair of chromosome at same locus. So these two alleles are separated now in one cell, A1 with B1, and another cell, A2 with B2. Got it? So this is the anaphase second stage. Now it will happen meiosis second. This is meiosis first. and this is meiosis second. So in meiosis second also this is the anaphase second stage. So here dear friends, the number of chromosome in each cell is 2. So A1, B1, A2, B2. Okay. So when the anaphase second occurs, then the chromosomal pair. So one chromosome, it is in the form of tetrad. So splitting of chromosome occur. So chromosome is splitted from the centromere. So here you are looking that one half or one arm is or one half part of this chromosome is reaches in this gamete, and another half in this gamete. So also the combination of allele is A2 and B2, because A2 gene at one arm is present A2, and in another arm it is also A2 if it is present the same. Okay. So this is the copy, because when one chromosome it is in the form of bivalent, when it becomes the tetravalent, then two additional arms are formed, and these two additional are the copy. These two additional arms are the copy of this one. Okay. So that is why dear students, you are looking here these A2 and B2, in both A2 and B2 is separated. Here also A1 and B1 separated. So this is the first probability. So you are looking that in first probability we are concluding that A1 is always going with B1 of another homologous pair. Got it? So we can say one trait is going with another trait. Okay. Here in second probability, what is happened? Dear students, you are looking here. Here A1 and A2 like that same, and here the position of B1, B2 I have interchanged. So here B1 here and B2 is here. So when A1 will reach in next generation or in meiosis second, then A1 is reached with B2. Okay. And this A2 is reached with B1. Okay. And remaining is same like that one. Okay. So in gamete we are getting A1 with B2, A2 with B1. So two traits are going in next generation. So what does it mean? Dear students, these allelic assortment, okay, because these alleles are getting assort or getting blended with another allele, so these are getting independently, because here A1 also is going with B1, and in another probability A1 is also going with B2. So A1 is independent allele, okay, independent from B1, okay, or independent from A2. Also it is independent from A2 because it is separating from A1, A2. These are separated now. So A1 is independent in homologous pair of chromosome, and also it is independent to assort with another trait or another allele of another chromosomal pair of homologous chromosome. Got it? So this is proving now that Mendel proved the law of independent assortment in pea plant. So Mendel performed the cross between the two parents which are having the two characters. So Mendel concluded that the two character Mendel has taken in pea plant are independent assort with another one. Okay. So the assortment is happen independently. That is why this law is known as the law of independent assortment, and Sutton and Boveri proved this law with the help of chromosomal theory of inheritance. I think students it is clear to you. Dear students, it is very, very important if you are getting these points, that how the gene or how alleles are reaching in next generation, then you will realize that Mendel have proved that thing in 1863, and till 1900 Mendel was lost, and the concept of Mendel was lost in the different types of concepts. Got it? But after the effort of three scientists, Hugo de Vries, Tessermark and Carl Carens, the Mendel's concept is revived. Okay? And Mendel, the credit of all the experiments of Mendel is reached to the same. Okay, and from 1900 the Mendel is known as the father of genetics. Got it? So dear student, this is the law of independent assortment on the basis of chromosomal theory of inheritance. I think it is clear to you. If any question, doubt, query, you can ask me on the personal WhatsApp number. Dear students, if you still didn't subscribe my YouTube channel, please subscribe it. Thank you for watching it.